With God's help and through the prayers of the Holy Fathers, Holy Sophia Prayer House presents a video prepared on an Orthodox Christian topic. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a spiritually beneficial and fruitful viewing. The Book of the Second Kings, according to the Hebrew Malachi, which is the second. Moab rebelled against Israel after the death of Ahab. And Ahaziah went up to the palace of Artaban, which was in Samaria, and was sick. And he sent messengers, and said unto them, Go, inquire of Baal the scribe, the god of Ekron, whether I have recovered from this sickness. And he went to inquire. And the angel of the Lord called to Elijah the Tishbite, and said, Arise, go meet the messengers of Ahaziah king of Samaria, and say unto them, Is it not because there is no God in Israel, that ye go to inquire of Baalim the scribe, and of the god of Ekron? But not so. But thus saith the Lord, Thou shalt not come up upon the carcass that thou hast seen, but shalt surely die upon it. And Elijah went and said unto them. And he turned to the apostles and said to them, What is this that you have done? And they said unto him, A man met us and said unto us, Go, turn unto the king that sent you, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Is it not because there is no God in Israel, that ye go to inquire of Baalim, the god of Ekron? Nay, but by the carcass which thou hast seen, thou shalt not turn aside, but shalt surely die thereon. And the king said to them, What manner of man was he who came to you and spoke such words? And they said, A man clothed in wool, and girded with a leathern girdle about his loins. And they said, It is Elijah the Tishbite. And the captain of the guard went forth with his messengers, and came to him, and Elijah sat upon the top of the mountain. And the captain of the guard answered and said unto him, Man of God, the king calleth thee, turn thee aside. Elijah answered and said to the man, If I am a man of God, let fire come down from heaven from the Lord, and consume you and your household. And fire came down from heaven and consumed him and his household. And the king sent another officer and his officers with him. And that officer stood up and said to the Man of God, Thus says the king, Turn back now. Elijah answered and said to him, If I am a man of God, let fire come down from heaven and consume you and your household. And fire came down from the Lord and consumed him and his household with him. And the king awoke the third time, and sent the captain of the guard and the captains of the guard with him. And the captain of the guard came to him, and fell on his knees before Elijah, and besought him, and said, O man of God, let the head of thy servant, and the heads of these thy servants, be exalted before thy face. For, behold, fire came down from heaven, and consumed both the first and the last of them, and the heads of these thy servants have perished before thy face. And the angel of the Lord said to Elijah, Go over and go down with them, and do not be afraid of them. And he arose and went down with them to the king. And Elijah answered him, and said, Because the messengers have sent to inquire of Baal, the god of Ekron, and it is not God in Israel, to inquire by him, not so, but by the body that thou hast looked upon, thou shalt not be restored, but shalt surely die. And Ahaziah died according to the word of the Lord, which Elijah had spoken. And Joram the son of Ahab reigned over Israel in Samaria 12 years, the 13th year of Jehoshaphat king of Judah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, and not like his brethren and his mother, for he set up the images of Baalim, which his father had made, and brake them down, and he walked in the sins of the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. He departed not from them. And the Lord was very angry with the house of Ahab. And Joram his brother reigned in his stead in the 3rd year of Joram the son of Jehoshaphat king of Judah, because he had no son. And the rest of the words of Ochros, and what he did, behold, all is written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Israel. And it came to pass, when the Lord took up Elijah into heaven, that Elijah and Elisha went to Gilgal. And Elijah said unto Elisha, Tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said, As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they came to Bethel. And the sons of the prophets who were at Bethel came out to meet them, and said to Elisha, Are you afraid? For today the Lord will exalt the Lord your God above you. And he said to them, I know, I swear. And Elijah said unto Elisha, Stay here, for I have sent the Lord to Jericho. And he said, As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And he went to Jericho. And the sons of the prophets that dwelt at Jericho came and said unto Elisha, Is it not well that the Lord will exalt the Lord thy God above thy head this day? And he said, I know also that ye speak. And Elijah said unto Elisha, Tarry thou here, for the Lord hath sent me to Jordan. And Elisha said, As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they both went their way. And the man of Gash of the sons of the prophets stood over against them, and they both stood by the bank of the Jordan. And Elijah took his mantle, and wrapped it up, and struck the water, and the water was divided hither and thither, and they both went up upon dry ground. And it came to pass, as they were about to depart, that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do, before I be taken up from thee. And Elisha said unto Elijah, Let thy spirit rest upon me. And Elijah said, Ask me solemnly, if you see me taken from you, let it be so, but if not, let it not be so. And there was a great noise, and a great noise, and behold, chariots of fire and horses of fire. And they separated one from another, and Elijah was taken up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw him, and cried, and said, My father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him not, and he took hold of his garment, and departed. And Elisha took up the mantle of Elijah, which had fallen upon him, and Elisha returned, and stood by the bank of Jordan. And Elijah took the mantle that fell upon him, and smote the water, and it was not broken. And Elisha said, Where is the Lord God of Elijah? And he smote the water the second time, and it was broken in two, and Elisha went up to the dry land. And when the sons of the prophets who were at Jericho saw it, they said, The spirit of Elijah rests on Elisha. And they went down to him, and bowed down to the ground. They said, Look, there are some brave men with your servants, sons of valor. Let them go and seek your master. Or else the Spirit of the Lord will take him up and throw him across the Jordan, or on one of the mountains, or on one of the hills. And Elisha said, Do not send him. And they urged him until he was ashamed, and said, Bring him out. And they brought out all the men, and he searched for 3 days, but did not find him. And he returned, and he tarried at Jericho, and Elisha said unto them, Did I not tell you, saying, Come not? And the men of the city said to Elisha, Look, the people of this city are good, as you see, the Lord, and the waters are evil and cause trouble. And Elisha said, Bring me a new pitcher of water. And they brought it to him. And Elisha came to the spring of water, and cast salt into it, and said, Thus saith the Lord, I will heal this water, and there shall be no more death from it, nor shall there be any more barrenness of children. And the waters were healed unto this day, according to the word of Elisha, which he spake. And Elisha went up by the way, and came to Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came out little children out of the city, and cast stones at him, and cried, saying, Up, O enemy, up, O enemy. He turned back to them, and cursed them in the name of the Lord, saying, You sons of sin and of perdition. And 2 bears came out with a roar, and ripped apart 22 of their children. And he passed by Mount Carmel, and came to Samaria by night. And Joram the son of Ahab began to reign over Israel in Samaria, in the 18th year of Jehoshaphat king of Judah, and reigned 12 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, but not like his father and mother, and he removed the pillars that his father had set up. And he clung to the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel sin, and he did not depart from them. And Amos king of Moab was at Note, and brought tribute to the king of Israel, 100,000 lambs and 100,000 rams without blemish. And it came to pass, after the death of Ahab, that the king of Moab rebelled against the king of Israel. And King Joram went out to Samaria that day, and numbered Israel, and departed. And the king sent to Jehoshaphat king of Judah, saying, The king of Moab hath lied unto me. Wilt thou go with me to fight against Moab? And he said, Go up, for I am as thou art, and my people as thy people, and my donkeys as thy donkeys. And he said, Which way shall we go up? And Joram said, the way of the wilderness, by the side of Edom. And the king of Israel, and the king of Judah, and the king of Edom went, and they journeyed 7 days, and they found no water in the camp, nor for their cattle that were with them. And the king of Israel said, Yes, for the Lord has delivered these 3 kings into the hand of Moab. And King Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of the Lord, that we may inquire of the Lord by him? And one of the king of Israel's servants said, Is here Elisha the son of Shaphat, which smote the hands of Elijah? And Jehoshaphat said, The word of the Lord is with him, and let the king of Israel, and Jehoshaphat the king of Judah, and the king of Edom, go down unto him. And Elisha said to the king of Israel, What have I to do with you and with me? I went to the prophets of your father, and to the prophets of your mother. And the king of Israel said to him, Has the Lord brought these 3 kings to me to deliver them into the hand of Moab? And Elisha said, As the Lord liveth, who hath strengthened me before him, surely, though I had not turned my face toward Jehoshaphat king of Judah, I would not have looked upon thee this night, and seen thee. And now bring me a hymn. And they brought us a hymn, and it was as he was praising him, that the hand of the Lord was upon him. And he said, Thus saith the Lord, Ye shall not see wind, neither shall ye see rain, but that valley shall be filled with water, and your flesh, and your flesh, and your blood shall be consumed. And this was a light thing in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered Moab into your hand. And you shall take all the choice and strong cities, and you shall cut down every good tree, and you shall stop up all the springs, and you shall make every good place desolate for yourselves. And it came to pass, that in the morning, after the offering of the burnt offering, behold, prophets came from Edom, and the country was filled with water. And all Moab heard that these kings were come into their host, and they sent and gathered together all their girded men, and rose up in the morning, and stood in their border. And the sun set upon the waters, and Moab saw the water before him, and it was as red as blood. And they said, This blood is like the blood of a sword, until these kings fall one to another, and behold, now they will soon be brought to ruin. And they turned their faces toward the camp of Israel, and the Israelites arose and attacked Moab, and fled from before them, and came and smote Moab. And they besieged their cities, and every good man filled every well with stones, and they stopped up all the fountains of waters with stones, and felled every good tree, and left not one stone upon another in their walls. And the valiant men surrounded it, and brought it down. And when the king of Moab saw that the king of Edom had become too strong for him, he sent 700 men armed with swords to attack the king of Edom, but he could not. And the king brought his firstborn son, whom he had made king in his place, and offered him for a sacrifice upon the wall. And there was great repentance among Israel, and he departed and came into his own land. And a certain woman of the sons of the prophets cried unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant my husband is dead, and thou knowest for thy servant that he feared the Lord, and the creditor came, and took my 2 sons to be his servants. And Elisha said to her, What ails you? Tell me, what is your house? And she said, There is nothing in your maidservant's house, except a jar of anointing oil for me. And Elisha said to her, Go and ask for yourself a vessel, and take it from all that is around you, and do not take a little. And you shall go in, you and your sons, and shut your door, and pour into all those vessels until they are full. And the woman went out from him, and did so. And she shut the door upon her and upon her sons. And her sons came near, and she poured oil into the vessel until it was full. And he said to his sons, Bring me another vessel. And they said, There is no other. And the oil stopped. And she came and told the man of God. And Elisha said to the woman, Go and give me the oil, and pay the debt, and you and your children will be fed by the oil that remains. And it came to pass one day, that Elisha came to Sonem, and there was a certain rich woman there, and she caused him to eat bread, and when he came often, he went in thither to eat and to drink. And the woman said to her husband, Behold, you know that this man is the Holy One of God, and that he will walk with me forever. Make him a small hut, and place there the body, and the table, and the chair, and the lamp. And it will be that when he comes, we will enter there with him. And it came to pass one day, that Elisha came thither, and entered into his house, and lodged there. And he said to Gehazi his servant, "Call this Somanite woman." So Gehazi called her, and she came and stood before him. And Elisha said to Gehazi his servant, "Say to the woman, Behold, thou hast prepared all things for us. Now what shall we do for thee? Is there not a word for thee to the king, or to the prince of the people?" And she said, "I will not call thee, but I dwell among my own people." And Elisha said to Gehazi, "It is not right for her to be here." And Gehazi, his servant, said, "You know that she has no son, and her husband is old." And Elisha said, "Call the woman." And she went out and stood at the door of her house. And Elisha said unto the woman, "About this time this day shalt thou have a child upon thy shoulders." And the woman said unto Elisha, "Nay, O Lord, man of God, do not afflict thine handmaid." And the woman conceived, and bare a son in her old age, as Elisha had said unto her. And the lad strengthened himself. And it came to pass in the days of the harvest, that the lad went out with his father to the reapers. And he said to his father, "Behead me." And he commanded one of the servants, and he brought the child to his mother. And his mother took him up, and laid him upon her knees, even unto her right hand, and the child died. And he took it, and laid it upon the body of Elisha, and opened the door, and went out into the open field. And she called to her husband and said, "Send me one of the servants and one of the donkeys, that I may run to the man of God and return." And her husband said to her, "What is it that you are going to today? For it is neither the feast nor the Sabbath." And the woman said to her husband, "You are silent." And they saddled the donkey, and said to his servant, "Drive and go, and do not let me ride on it until you have said." And he went to the man of God to Mount Carmel. And it came to pass, when he saw Elisha coming toward him, that he said to Gehazi his servant, "Behold, the Shemanite is coming. Answer her and say, Peace be with you, and peace be with your husband. Did he not send you away in peace?" And she said, "Peace be with you." And he turned to Elisha on the mountain, and bowed himself down at his feet. And Gehazi came to him to lift him up. And Elisha said, "Forbear, and do not tell, for he is in pain, and the Lord has hidden it from me, and has not told me." And the woman said, "Shall I ask for a son from my Lord?" I said, "Do not lie to me." And Elisha said to Gehazi, "Gird up the girdle of thy loins, and take my staff in thine hand, and go thy way, and if any man meet thee, bless him not, and if any man bless thee, answer him not again, and lay my staff upon the mouth of his servant." And the woman said, "As the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee." And Elisha arose, and went unto her. And Gehazi went on before them, and laid his staff upon the mouth of the child, and there was neither voice nor hearing. And Gehazi answered and told Elisha, saying, "The child is not revived." And Elisha came into the house, and, behold, the dead man was laid upon his bed. And Elisha went into the house, and shut the door, and worshipped the Lord, and prayed unto the Lord. And he arose, and lay upon the child, and put his face upon his face, and his eyes upon his eyes, and his hands upon his hands, and stretched himself upon him, and the flesh of his child was softened. And Elisha arose, and went into the house, and it came to pass the second time, that he laid himself upon the child 7 times, and the child opened his eyes. And Elisha called Gehazi, and said, "Call this Somanite hither." And Gehazi called him, and went in unto him. And Elisha said unto him, "Bring hither thy son." And the woman went in, and fell at his feet, and worshipped him with the earth. And she took up her son, and went out. And Elisha returned to Gilgal. And there was a drought in the land, and the sons of the prophets sat before him. And Elisha said to his servant, "Set on the great pot, and set it on fire for the sons of the prophets." And he went into the field of Arioth, and found a vineyard laid waste, and he gathered into it a basketful of grapes, and took it, and poured it into the pot of wine, and knew not what it was. And he set it before the men to eat, and as they began to eat, they cried out and said, "O man of God, it is death because of the pot." And he could not eat. And Elisha said, "Take meal, and pour it into the pot." And they poured it, and Elisha said to Gehazi his servant, "Set it before the people, that they may eat." And there was no heat from the pot. And there came out a man of Bethsaida, and brought unto the man of God bread of the first fruits, of ripe fruits, and of roasted grain. And Elisha said, Give unto the people, that they may eat. And his servant said unto him, What shall this man do in the presence of these men? And Elisha said, Give the people to eat, for thus saith the Lord, Let them eat, and leave of it. And he set it before them, and they ate and left some left over, according to the word of his Lord. And Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Assyria, was a great man before the Lord, and a wonderful man, for by him the Lord had given him deliverance from the Assyrians. And the man was mighty in strength and a leper. And there came out of Assyria unarmed men, and carried away captive out of the land of Israel a little woman, and Naaman's wife was with her. And he said to his queen, Because the Lord my God, the prophet, came to Samaria, and I prayed to him, and he said, I will cleanse this leper from his leprosy. And he went in and told his Lord, saying, Thus and thus said the woman who is from the land of Israel. And they told the king, and the king of Assyria said, Go, and I will write unto the king of Israel. And he took 10 talents of silver, and an ephah of gold, and 10 changes of raiment. And he brought before the king of Israel a letter, which said, Now as soon as this letter comes to you, I have sent to you my servant Naaman, and you shall cleanse him from his idols. And it came to pass, when the king of Israel had read the book, that he rent his clothes, and said, Am I not God, to kill and to make alive? And he sent unto me a man to be cleansed of his leprosy, and ye knew and understood that he would speak a word. And it came to pass, when Elisha the man of God heard that the king of Israel had rent his garments, that he sent to the king of Israel, saying, Wherefore rentest thou thy garments? Come, I pray thee, and let them know that there is a prophet in Israel. And Naaman came with his chariots and with his mules, and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. And the prophet Elisha appeared to him and said, Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your skin will be restored to you, and you will be clean. And Naaman was wroth, and went away, and said, I thought, How can he come out unto me, and call on the name of the Lord his God, and lay his hand upon this leprosy, and cleanse me of this leprosy of mine? Are not the rivers of Arban and Pharphath, which thou hast washed with water, better for me than the Jordan, and all the waters of Israel? And why should I not go and wash in them, and be cleansed? And he turned and went away in anger. And some of his servants came and said to him, Brother, what did the prophet say to you, though you are great? Wasn't I also the first to be born? Allow me, for he said to you, Wash and be clean. And Naaman went down and dipped himself in Jordan 7 times, according to the word of Elisha, and he was turned, and his flesh was restored like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. And Naaman returned to Elisha, he and all his company, and came and stood before him, and said, Behold, thou knowest that there is no God in all the earth, but in Israel. Therefore now receive a blessing from thy servant. And Elisha said, As the Lord liveth, before whom I stand, I have nothing to offer. And he invited him to eat, but he would not sit down. And Naaman said, Why do you not command me to go and buy mules from the land of this land? For your servant will not sacrifice or offer to any other god, except to the Lord only. For this word the Lord has blessed your servant, when he enters the house of my lord Raymond to worship him, because he has laid his hand on me. When he enters the house of his lord Raymond and worships him, I will give to the Lord my God. And the Lord will forgive your servant for his word. And Elisha said to Naaman, Go in peace. And he departed from the land of Israel. And Gehazi, Elisha's servant, said, Behold, my master has spared Naaman the Syrian, and has not taken from him what he has brought him. As the Lord lives, I will run and overtake him, and take something from him there. And Gehazi overtook Naaman, and Naaman saw Gehazi pursuing him, and he turned aside from his chariot to meet him, and said, Do you come in peace? And Gehazi said, Peace be with you. My master sent me to you. And, behold, there are come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a piece of silver and 2 changes of raiment. And Naaman said, If it be so, take 3 talents of silver. And he urged him, and gave him 3 talents of silver, and bound up 2 changes of garments, and gave them to 2 of his servants, and they stood before him. And he came in the darkness, and took them out of their hands, and cast them into the house, and sent them away. And the men departed. And he went in, and stood before his master, and Elisha said unto him, Where art thou, Gehazi? And Gehazi said, Not until I have been thy servant, whether he be here or there. And Elisha said to him, Was not my heart with you when the man turned from the chariots to meet you? And, behold, I took the garment, and bought with it a vineyard and an olive grove, and a vineyard and a cornfield, and a flock and menservants and maidservants. And the leprosy of Neman shall cleave unto thee and to thy seed forever. And there came out of his mouth white as snow. And the sons of the prophets said unto Elisha, Behold now, the place where we dwell is too strait for us. Let us go and cut down for ourselves a bed of straw across the Jordan, and let us build a place to live there. And Elisha said, Let us go. And one of them said, I will come with you slowly with your servants. And he said, I will go. And he went with them, and came to the Jordan, and to the fords of Caphidim. And behold, one of them, before Moses was cut off, fell an iron rod, and fell into the water. And the man cried out and said, Have mercy on me, O Lord, for he also was a sinner. And the man of God said, Where did the rod fall? And he showed him the place. And Elisha broke off a branch and threw it into the rod, and the iron burned. And Elisha said, Put your hand on it and take it. And he put his hand on it and took it. And the king of Assyria came out against Israel, and took counsel with his servants, saying, Let us go up to Philemon in one place. And Elisha sent to the king of Israel, saying, Beware that ye go not thither, for the Assyrians are encamped there. And the king of Israel sent messengers to the place where Elisha had told him to look for them, and he did not turn back from that place once or twice. And the heart of the king of Assyria was angry because of his words, and he called his servants and said to them, Tell me, who has betrayed me to the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, None, my lord the king, but Elisha, the prophet of Israel, tells the king of Israel all your words that you speak in the chambers, that is, in your resting places. And the king said, Come and see where he is, that I may send and seize him. And they told him, saying, Behold, he is at Dothaim. And the king of Assyria sent there the Huns and chariots and a strong people, and they came at night and surrounded the city. And Elisha's servant looked, and behold, a strong people compassed the city round about, both with chariots and with horses. And the lad said unto him, Lord, what shall we do? And Elisha said, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha worshipped the Lord, and prayed, and said, O Lord, open the eyes of this child, that he may see. And the Lord opened his eyes, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of chariots and horses of fire round about Elisha. And they went over to him, and Elisha prayed unto the Lord, and said, Smite this man of mine with blindness. And the Lord smote him with blindness, according to the word of Elisha. And Elisha said unto them, This is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom ye seek. And he brought them into Samaria. And it came to pass, as they were come into Samaria, that Elisha said, Lord, open the eyes of these men, that they may see. And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw. And, behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. When the king of Israel saw them, he said to Elisha, Strike them, my father. And Elisha said, Do not kill them, for they are not with your sword or with your bow. Now set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink, and go to their master. And he gave them a great feast, and they ate and drank, and went to their lord. And they did not give the Assyrians any food to eat, to come into the land of Israel. And it came to pass after this, that the son of Hadar, king of Assyria, gathered together all his host, and came and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and they sat down round about her, until they found a donkey's head of the weight of a shekel, and 4 shekels of silver, and a shekel of silver, and a shekel of silver, and 5 shekels of silver. And the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, and a woman cried unto him, saying, Remember me, O my lord the king. And the king said to him, "May the Lord not deliver you? Who has delivered you from the winepress?" And the king said to her, "What ails you, woman?" The woman answered and said, "This woman said to me, 'Come, let us eat your son today, and we will eat my son tomorrow.' And we boiled my son and ate him, and said to him on the next day, 'Give your son now, that we may eat him.' And he hid his son. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of his wife, that he rent his garments, and passed by upon the wall. And all the people saw that he had covered his naked flesh with sackcloth. And he said, 'Thus and thus may God do to me, and thus may he do to me, if the head of Elisha the son of Shaphat stand upon him this day.' And Elisha sat in his house, and the old men sat with him. And the king sent a man unto him, and before the messenger came to him, Elisha said unto the old men, 'Know ye that this bloody son of a bitch hath brought forth a slain man upon my head?' And as soon as the messenger came in, stand at the door. For lo, the sound of the feet of his master is behind him. And while he was yet speaking unto them, the king's messenger came unto them, and said, 'Behold, this is precious from the Lord. Why should I make supplication unto the Lord?' And Elisha said, 'Hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, Tomorrow about this time a shekel of silver shall be found in the gate of Samaria, and 2 shekels of silver in the gate of Samaria.' The messenger answered, 'By whose hand does the king pray?' And he said to Elisha, 'Can the Lord bring down the stars from heaven, that such a thing should happen?' Elisha said to him, 'Behold, you shall see it with your own eyes, but you shall not eat of it.' And there were 4 lepers sitting without the gate of the city, and one said unto his neighbor, 'Why sit we here till we die? And if we enter into the city is desolate, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we shall surely die. And now come, let us go over to the camp of the Assyrians, and if they save us alive, we shall live, and if they kill us, we shall die.' And he rose up early in the morning to go into the camp of the Assyrians, and, behold, there was no man there. For God heard the noise of the chariots in the camp of the Assyrians, and the noise of the Huns, and the voice of a strong people. And a man said to his brother, 'Behold, the king of Israel is come against us, the king of the Hittites, and the king of the Egyptians.' And they arose and journeyed all night, and left their tents and their asses and their donkeys in the camp, as they arose and journeyed to refresh themselves. And the lepers entered into one tent, and did eat and drink, and took gold and raiment, and went and hid it, and turned and entered into another tent, and brought it out again and hid it. And the lepers said one to another, 'It is not so. What shall we do? But this day is a day of good tidings, and we are silent, and wait for the light of the morning, and we have found iniquity. And now come, tell this to the king's house.' And they went in and cried out in the gates of the city, and told them, saying, 'We have entered into the city of the Assyrians, and there was no man there, nor the voice of man, save the horses tied, and their tents pitched.' And they cried out to the gatekeepers, and told the king. And the king arose and said to his servants, 'I will tell you what the Assyrians said to us. They knew that we were being attacked, and that they had gone out of the camp, and were hiding in the field. They said, Who knows if they have come out of the city, and we have taken them alive, and we will enter the city and take them out.' And one of his servants answered and said, 'Let 5 of them take the remnant of all the multitude of Israel which are scattered abroad, and let us send them thither and see.' And they saddled 2 horses for themselves, and the king of Israel sent to the king of Assyria, saying, 'Go and see.' And he went after them even unto Jordan, and, behold, all the ways were full of garments and vessels, which the Assyrians had taken away from them, and the messengers returned, and told the king. And the people passed through the city, and the camp of the Assyrians was broken up, and there was a grieve of silver in a shekel, and a shekel of silver in a shekel, and 2 shekels of silver in a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. And the king appointed messengers from among the vessels, by whose hand the king had prayed, and they cast him into the gates with the people, and he died, as the man of God who had come to him as his messenger had told him. And it came to pass, as Elisha spake unto the king, saying, Let 2 shekels of silver be found in a full scale, and 1 shekel of silver in a full scale, and let them be in the gate of Samaria about this time tomorrow. And the messenger of the man of God answered and said, Has the Lord made the heavens to tremble, and has this thing happened? And Elisha said, Behold, you shall see it with your own eyes, but you shall not eat of it. And it happened to him that he was struck down by the enemy, and he died. And Elisha spake unto the woman whose son he had restored to life, saying, Arise, go thou and thy household, and sojourn where it shall be well with thee. For the Lord hath called for a famine upon the land, and there shall be a famine in the land 7 years. And the woman arose, and it was according to the word of Elisha. And the prince went with his household, and sojourned in that land unto the strangers 7 years. And it came to pass, after the 7 years of famine were ended, that woman returned from a strange land, and came and cried before the king for her house and for her field. And the king spake unto Gehazi, the servant of Elisha the man of God, saying, Tell me, I pray thee, all the great things that Elisha hath done. And it came to pass, while he was telling the king how he had restored the dead woman's son to life, that, behold, the woman, whose son Elisha had restored to life, cried unto the king for her house and for her land, and said, My lord the king, this is the woman and this is her son, whom Elisha restored to life. And the king asked the woman, and she told him. And the king gave her one of his eunuchs, and said, Give her back all that she has, and all the fruit of the land, for she has left the land until now. And Elisha came to Damascus, and the son of Hadars, king of Assyria, was sick, and they told him, saying, A man of God is come hither. And the king said to Hazael, Take manna in thine hand, and go to the man of God, and inquire of the Lord by him, saying, Shall I recover of this my sickness? And Hazael went to meet Elisha, and took with him 20 camels of all the best of Damascus, and came and stood before Elisha, and said, My father Elisha, the son of Ader, the king of Assyria hath sent me unto thee, saying, Shall I recover of this my sickness? And Elisha said unto him, Go, and say unto him, Live, and be healed. And the Lord shewed me that he was surely dead. And Hazael stood before Elisha, bowing down, and the man of God wept. And Hazael said, Why weepest thou, my lord? And Elisha said unto him, Thou knowest all that thou hast done unto the children of Israel, how thou hast burned their mighty men with fire, and hast slain their chosen with the sword, and hast slain their little ones with the sword, and hast made their fathers to sleep. And Hazael said, Who is this thy servant, that he should do according to all this great word? And he said unto Eli, The Lord hath shewed me that thou shalt reign over Assyria. And Hazael went and came to his master, and told him what Elisha had said. And Hazael said, He told me that he would live. And it came to pass that he took a piece of cloth from the morning, and dipped it in water, and spread it over his face, and died, and Hazael reigned in his stead. In the 5th year of Joram the son of Ahab king of Israel, Jehoram the son of Jehoshaphat reigned over Judah. And he was 32 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 42 years in Jerusalem. And he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel, as the house of Ahab had done, for he had the daughter of Ahab to wife, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord would not forsake Judah for the sake of David his servant, as he promised to give him a lamp and a lamp to his son forever. And in his days Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah, and they made a king over them. And Joram passed over to Seir, and all his chariots with him. And it came to pass that in the morning light, until it was dark, that Edom and his garrisons, and the captains of his chariots, were broken up, and the people fled every man to his tent. And Edom submitted to the hand of Judah, even to this day. At that time also Libnah submitted. And the rest of the acts of Joram, and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah. And Joram slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David, and Ahaziah his son reigned in his stead. In the 12th year of Jehoram the son of Ahab king of Israel, Ahaziah the son of Jehoram king of Judah began to reign. Ahaziah was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah, the daughter of Zombra's king of Israel. And he walked in the ways of Ahab, and did evil in the sight of the Lord, as did the house of Ahab, for he was son-in-law to the house of Ahab. And Ahaziah went with Joram the son of Ahab to the camp of Hazael king of Assyria, to Haramoth-Gilead, and the Assyrians delivered Joram into their hand. And King Joram returned to Jezreel to recover from the wounds which the Assyrians had given him in the temple of the Lord, when he was sick against Hazael king of Assyria. And Ahaziah the son of Jehoram king of Judah went down to see Joram the son of Ahab in Jezreel, because he was sick. And Elisha the prophet called one of the sons of the prophets, and said unto him, Strengthen thy loins, and take this horn of oil in thine hand, and go to Ramoth-Gilead. And go in thither, and look there for Jehu the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Amasa, and raise him up among his brethren, and bring him into the ward of the ward. And he took the horn of oil, and poured it upon his head, and said, Thus saith the Lord, Anoint thee king over Israel, and open the gates, and go forth, and stay no more. And the boy went to the prophet Haramoth in Gilead. And he went in, and behold, the princes of the people were sitting. And he said, I have a message for thee, O prince. And he said, To whom of you? And he said, To thee, the prince. And he arose, and went into the chamber, and poured the oil upon his head, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, I anoint thee king over this people, even over Israel. And put away the house of Ahab your master from before your face, and avenge the blood of my servants the prophets, the blood of all the servants of the Lord, from the hand of Jezebel and of all her house. And he destroyed the house of Ahab, and left him none that remained, but he built a wall, and he and the remnant of Israel were destroyed. To make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha the son of Ahijah. And Jezebel shall be eaten by the dogs in Jezreel, and there shall be no one to bury her. And he opened the door, and went out. And the servants of his Lord went out, and said unto him, Is it peace? Why is that young man come unto thee? And he said unto them, Ye know the man, and his young men. And they said to him, It is not right that you should tell us. And he said to them, Thus and thus he spoke to me, and said to me, Thus says the Lord, I anoint you king over Israel. When they heard this, they rushed forward, and each took his own spear, and placed it on the head of one of the high places where they were sitting. And they blew the trumpet, and said, Judas has become king. And Jehu the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Amasa, gathered himself together against Joram, and Joram was in hiding at Ramah-Gilead, he and all Israel, because of Hazael king of Assyria. And King Joram returned to Jezreel to recover from the wounds which the Assyrians had given him, when they had fought against Hazael king of Assyria. And he said, If your soul be with me, let no man depart from the city to go and tell it in Jezreel. And Judah went up and came to Jezreel, and Joram king of Israel was recovering in Jezreel of the wounds which he had received in the days of Ramoth in Gilead against Hazael king of Assyria, for he was a valiant man, and a mighty man of valor. And he lay down there, and Ahaziah king of Judah slept in the sight of Joram. And Egbert stood on the tower of Jezreel, and saw the cloud coming toward Joshua, and said, What do I see in the cloud? And Joram said, Take a horseman, and send him before them, and let him ask, saying, Is there peace? And the horseman went before them, and said, Thus saith the king, Is it peace? And he said, What hath thy son to do with peace? Turn back hither. And Egbert said, The messenger came unto them, and turned not back. And he sent forth the second time a horseman, and came unto them, and said, Thus saith the king, Is it peace? And he said, What hath thy son to do with peace? Turn back hither. And Egbert said, The messenger approached them, and did not turn back, and he approached the one whom he was leading, the son of Amasa, because he approached him in anger. And Joram said, Make ready the chariots. And they made ready the chariots, and they got up, every man into his chariot, even Joram king of Israel, and Ahaziah king of Judah, and they went out to meet Joshua, and found him in the portion of Naboth the Jezreelite. And when Joram saw him, he said, Is it peace? And he said, What peace? Let the whoredoms of your mother Jezebel and her sorceries be multiplied. And Joram went out and came and said to Ahaziah, Is there any plot, Ahaziah?" And Jehu took hold of it and gave it to Joram between the shoulders, and he weighed his heart and bowed himself upon his knees. And Jehu said to Deborah his adjutant, "Take her up and cast her into the portion of the house of Naboth the Jezreelite. For I remember when we rode together and looked upon Ahab his father, and the Lord brought this thing upon him. How can I avenge the blood of Naboth and the blood of his sons, which I saw yesterday, saith the Lord? I will avenge this portion." And the Lord said, "Now take up and cast it into the portion of Naboth, according to the word of the Lord." And Ahaziah king of Judah saw him, and he went by the way of Bethron, and went after him, and said, "He is dead." And he had him ride in his chariot, until he went up the ascent of Beriah, which is before Jeglam, and he went to Magid, and died there. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and buried him in his sepulchre with his fathers in the city of David. And in the 11th year of Jehoram king of Israel, Ahaziah began to reign over Judah. And when Judas came to Jezreel, and Jezebel heard of it, she painted her face and adorned her head, and looked out at a window. And when he entered the city, he said, "Is not the man alive, the servant of his master?" And he lifted up his eyes, and looked at them at the windows, and said, "Who art thou? Look on me." And there stood with him 2 eunuchs. And Judas said to them, "Throw him down." And they threw him down, and sprinkled his blood on their wall, and trampled him underfoot. And he went in, and ate and drank, and said, "Behold, she is cursed and covered, for she was the daughter of a prostitute." And they went to bury him, and found nothing of him except the head, the feet, and the palms of his hands. And they came and told him, and he said, "This is the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, The dogs shall eat the flesh of Jezebel in the midst of Jezreel. And let Jezebel be a prostitute, like the prostitute who stole the portion of Naboth's house, so that no one would say, This is Jezebel." And Ahab's 30 sons remained in Samaria. And Judas the scribe wrote to Samaria, to the princes of Samaria, and to the elders, and to the fathers of Ahab, saying, As this book comes to you, and the sons of your Lord are with you, and with you are his chariots and his asses, and strong cities and armor. See and choose from among them the sons of your Lord, and establish him on his father's throne, and let the battle be fought for the house of your Lord. And they were exceedingly afraid, and said, Behold, the 2 kings could not stand before him. How then shall we stand before him? And they sent out of his house and of the city the elders and the fathers, and said unto Joshua, We are thy servants, and will do whatsoever thou shalt bid us. Neither will we set any king over us, but whatsoever seemeth good unto thee, that will we do. And he wrote them a second letter, saying, If ye be mine, and will hearken unto my voice, then kill the heads of the sons of the Lord which are among you, and be ready to Jezreel by this time tomorrow, and let the king's sons be left, being 70 men. And let the princes of the city bring them up. And it came to pass, when the letter came unto them, that they took the king's sons, and slew 70 of them, and put their heads in baskets, and brought them to Jezreel. And the messenger came in and said to him, The king's sons have bowed their heads, and said, Sit down on 3 hills outside the city walls until dawn. And it came to pass, that he went out early in the morning, and stood in the gate of the city, and said unto all the people, Ye are righteous. Behold, I will rise up against my master, and slay him. See these things, who hath slain him. And know now that the word of the Lord of the earth, which the Lord spoke concerning the house of Ahab, shall not fail. And the Lord hath done that which he spake by the mouth of his servant Elijah. And Jehu destroyed all that remained of the house of Ahab the king of Jezreel, and all his princes, and his friends, and his priests. He left him none remaining. And he arose, and went into Samaria, and as he came to Bethcad, on the way to the sheepfold, he found the brothers of Ahaziah king of Judah, and said, To whom do you belong? And they said, We are the brothers of Ahaziah, and we have been looking for the king's sons, and the sons of his valiant men. And he said, Take them alive. And they took them, and slew them at Bethcad, 22 men. And not one of them was left. And Judah went by, and found Jonadab the son of Rechab before him, and blessed him. And Judah said unto him, If thine heart be right, as mine heart is toward thee? And Jonadab said, It is. And Judah said, If it be right, give me thy hand. And he gave him his hand, and he made him to go up with him into the chariot. And he said to him, Come with me and see my vengeance for my lord. And he mounted his chariot. And he entered Samaria, and destroyed all that remained to Ahab in Samaria, according to the word of the Lord, which Elijah had spoken. And Judah gathered all the people together, and said unto them, Ahab serve Baal a little, and I will serve him much. And now deliver up to me all the prophets of Baal, and all his servants, and his priests. Let not a man be left alive, for Baal has a great sacrifice. And he that cometh near me shall die. And he was deceived, that he might kill the servants of Baal. And Judah said, Prepare a sacrifice for Baal. And the prophet cried. And Judah sent throughout all Israel, and they slew all the worshippers of Baal. There was not left any that came not into the house of Baal, and the house was filled from one end to the other with Baal. And Judah said to the officers, Rip the robes of the servants of Baal. And they ripped their robes. And Jehu and Jehonadab the son of Rechab went into the house of Baal, and said unto the servants of Baal, Search now, and see whether there be here with you of the servants of the Lord, but ye servants of Baal. And Judah went in, saying, If it be to sacrifice and burn incense. And Judah set 800 men without, and said unto them, Whosoever shall kill of the men whom I have delivered into your hands, his head shall be on his head. And it came to pass, as they had made an end of offering, that Judah said unto the captains of the guard, and to them that bear armor, Go in and smite them, let not one of them escape. And they smote them with the edge of the sword, and there escaped not one of them that went into the house of Baal. And they brought out the images from the house of Baal, and burned them. And they removed all the images of Baal, and brake down the house of Baal, and made that place a desolation unto this day. And he cut off Baal and his house from Israel. But the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel sin, did not depart from the gold of the gods of Judah, which they had in Bethel and Dan. And the Lord said to Joshua, Because you have walked before me in righteousness, and in doing what is right in my heart toward the house of Ahab, your descendants shall sit on the throne of Israel for the 4th time. And Judas did not forsake the law of the Lord God of Israel with all his heart, neither did he depart from the sins of Jeroboam, who made Israel sin. In those days the Lord began to cut off all the coasts of Israel, and Hazael cut off all the coasts of Israel. From the Jordan eastward, all the land of Gilead, and Gad, and Reuben, and Manasseh, from Aruel, which is on the border of the river Arnon, and Gilead, and Bashan. And the rest of the acts of Judas, and all that he did, and all his might that he had, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel. And Jehu slept with his fathers, and they buried him in Samaria, and Jehoahaz his son reigned in his stead. And the days that Jehu reigned over Israel were 28 years in Samaria. And when Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her sons were dead, she destroyed all the relatives of the sons of Shelah. And Jehosheba, the daughter of King Joram, the daughter of Ahaziah, took Joash the son of Ahaziah, her brother, because he had stolen him from among the king's sons who were slain, and hid him and his nurse in a bedchamber from Athaliah, so that he died not. And he was with him secretly in the house of the Lord 6 years, while Athaliah reigned over the land. And in the 7th year he sent Judah, and brought the captains of hundreds, Korah and Rashi, and brought them into the house of the Lord, and made a covenant with them, and anointed them in the name of the Lord, and showed them Judah, the king's son. And he commanded them, saying, This is the word which ye shall have. Divide yourselves into 3 parts, and 1 part shall keep the watch of the house of the king, and the gates of the palace. And a 2nd part of them were built by the gates of the house, and a 3rd part by the gates of the house, and they built the house of the house. Keep your hands ready, and everyone who enters the house of the Lord, be careful to guard the house of the Lord and the king. And he appointed a man to surround the king, and the vessels in his hand, and to kill him that came in by the gate. And he was the prince with the king when he came in and when he went out. And they did all that the captains of hundreds had commanded Judas the wise priest, and the men went in, divided into guard ranks, one after another, and Judas entered the priest's house. And the priest gave to the captains of hundreds the ephod and the shield of King David, which were in the house of the Lord. And the captains of hundreds took the chains of their hands, and compassed them from the right side of the temple unto the left side of the temple, and the sanctuary, and the house of the king round about. And he brought forth the king's son unto them, and gave him the crown of thorns, and anointed him, and made him king. And the people bowed down and said, Long live the king. And Athaliah heard the noise of the multitude, and she went into the midst of the people into the house of the Lord. And she looked, and behold, the king stood upon the pillar, like unto his countenance, and the princes, and the drinkers, and the singers, and all the people of the land rejoiced, and made merry. And Athaliah tore her garment, and cried, and said, Stand up, stand up. And Judah the priest commanded the captains of hundreds, and those that were set over the people, and said unto them, Take him out of the prison, and bring him behind the house, and slay him with the sword, but slay him not in the house of God. And it shall be, that whosoever followeth him shall be slain with the sword. And they took him by the hand, and brought him into the way of the asses of his king's house, and slew him there. And the priest of Judah made a covenant between the Lord and the king and the people, that they should be the Lord's people. And all the people of the land went into the house of Baal, and brake it down, and brake his altar and his images in pieces, and brake the priest of Baal in pieces before his offering. And the priest set the watchmen of the house of the Lord. And the priests of Judah brought forth the captains of hundreds, the Korahites, and the Rephaites, and all the people of the land, and brought down the king from the house of the Lord, and brought him into the way of the gate of his royal house, and set him upon the throne of the kingdom. And all the people of his land rejoiced, and the city was quiet, and Athaliah was slain with the sword in the king's house. And Joash was 7 years old when he began to reign. After him, in the 7th year of Judah, Joab the son of Ahaziah began to reign in Jerusalem, and reigned 42 years. His mother's name was Beersheba. And Joash did what was right in the sight of the Lord all the days that the priest of Judah instructed him. But the high places did not depart from them, and the people continued there and burned incense to the high places. And Joash said to the priests, All the offerings that are offered for the house of the Lord, for the holy things, are given to every man according to his own heart, for the souls that are numbered, every one according to his heart's desire, to repair the house of the Lord. Let the priests take from their possessions, each man, and let them build a wall for the house of their Lord, in every place where they find a wall. And it came to pass in the 23rd year of King Joash, that the chambers of the priests were not built in the house of the Lord. Then King Joash of Judah called for the priests and all the other priests, and said to them, Why haven't you built the altar for the house of the Lord? Now you shall not take any of the offerings from any of your relatives, but you shall give it to the altar for the house of the Lord. And they promised the priests that they would not take any food from the people, nor would they repair the temple. And Jehoiada took one of the arks, and made a covering for it, and set it on the altar of the Lord. And he gave to the priests that were on duty at the door of the house of the Lord all the fat that he found in the house of the Lord. And they saw that there was much in the ark. And the chief scribes, the king's chief priest, and the high priest went up and counted the treasures that were found in the house of the Lord. And they gave the money to the hands of the workers in the work of the vessels of the house of the Lord, and to the carpenters and builders of the house of the Lord. And they gave them to the masons and the stone cutters, to buy beams and hewn stones to build the porch of the house of the Lord, and they gave all of them for the service of the temple. And that they might not make of it doors for the house of the Lord, and snuffers, and tables, and snuffers, and all vessels of gold, and all vessels of the snuffer, and the snuffers of the offering of the house of the Lord. But they gave it to the workers for the maintenance of the house of its master. And there was no number of the sheep in whose hands it was to be given to those who worked, for the workers were faithful. And the lamb offered for sin did not enter the temple of the Lord, but belonged to the priests. At that time Hazael king of Assyria came up, and besieged Gath, and took it, and appointed Hazael to go up against Jerusalem. And Jehoash king of Judah took all the holy things that Jehoshaphat, and Jehoram, and Ahaziah, his fathers, kings of Judah, had dedicated, and his own holy things, all the vessels that he found in the house of the Lord, and in the king's house, and gave them to Hazael king of Assyria, and went to Jerusalem. And the rest of the acts of Joash, and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah. And his servants rose up against him with a plot, and brought him to the house of Joash, the son of Mahlon, who was in Gilead. And Jozachar the son of Jamuz, and Jezebel his daughter, which were numbered among his servants, conspired against him, and slew him. And they buried him with his fathers in the city of David, and Amaziah his son reigned in his stead. In the 23rd year of Joash the son of Ahaziah, king of Judah, Jehoahaz the son of Joash began to reign over Israel and Samaria, and reigned 17 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and followed the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel sin. He did not depart from them. And the Lord was very angry with Israel, and delivered them into the hand of Hazael king of Assyria, and into the hand of the son of Hadar the son of Hazael, all his days. And Jehoahaz besought the Lord, and the Lord heard him, and saw the affliction of Israel, wherewith the king of Assyria oppressed them. And the Lord gave Israel a savior, and they were delivered out of the hand of the Assyrians, and the children of Israel dwelt in their own land, as in days gone by. And they departed not from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, but walked therein, and in the valleys, and in the mountains of Samaria. And Jehoahaz did not leave the people, but his horsemen as numerous as the oxen, and his 10 chariots, and his 10,000 footmen. For the king of Assyria destroyed them, and tilled them as the earth is tilled. And the rest of the acts of Jehoahaz, all that he did, and his might, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel. And Jehoahaz slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in Samaria, and his son reigned in his stead. In the 37th year of the reign of Joash king of Judah, Jehoash the son of Jehoahaz began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and reigned 12 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from all the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, but walked therein. And the rest of the acts of Jehoash, and all that he did, and all his might, and that which he did to the king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Joash slept with his fathers, and Jeroboam sat on his throne. And Joash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. And Elisha was sick of the leprosy wherewith he fell down, and came to Joash king of Israel, and wept over him, and said, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And Elisha said to him, take your bow and your arrows. And he took his bow and his arrows. And Elisha said to the king of Israel, put your hand on your bow. And he put his hand on the bow, and Elisha put his hand on the king's hand. And he said, open the windows that are toward the east. And they opened them, and Elisha said, shoot. And he shot, and Elisha said, the arrow of salvation from the Lord, and the arrow of salvation from before the face of the Assyrians. Smite the Assyrians at Aphek, and consume them. And Elisha said to him, shoot the arrows. And he shot, and said to the king of Israel, shoot at the ground. And the king shot 3 times and missed. And the man of God was grieved at him, and said, if you have done this 5 times or 6 times, then you have brought the Assyrians down and done with them, but now you have brought the Assyrians down 3 times. And Elisha died and was buried, and the harvest of Moab came out of the land at the end of that year. And it came to pass, as one was coming to a dead man, that, behold, his companions saw him, and cast him into the sepulchre of Elisha, and the bones of Elisha were with him, and he revived, and stood upon his feet. And Hazael king of Assyria oppressed Israel all the days of Jehoahaz. And the Lord was gracious to them, and had mercy on them, and remembered his covenant with them, which he had sworn to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and the Lord would not cast them away, nor cast them away from his presence. And Hazael king of Assyria died, and Hadar his son reigned in his stead. And Joash the son of Jehoahaz came, and took again out of the hand of Hadar the son of Hazael the cities, which he had taken out of the hand of Jehoahaz his father. And Joash smote Hadar 3 times in battle, according to the word of the Lord, and he delivered up the cities of Israel, and all that he had taken. In the 2nd year of the reign of Joash the son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, Amaziah the son of Jehoash, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jehoiada of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, yet not like David his father, but he did according to all that his father Joash had done. But he did not remove the high places, and the people sacrificed and burned incense to the high places. And it came to pass, as soon as he had established the kingdom in his hand, that he slew his servants, whom the king his father had slain. And they did not bury their children, as it is written in the book of the law, as the Lord commanded Moses, saying, "The father shall not be put to death for the child, nor the child for the father, but the child shall be put to death for his own sins." This man put 10,000 men of Edom in the camp of Jemelech, and took the rock with battle, and called its name Ketol to this day. At that time Amaziah sent messengers to Joash the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Joash king of Israel, saying, "Come, let us see each other in the face." And Jehoash king of Israel answered Amaziah king of Judah, saying, "A thistle that was in Lebanon sent to a thistle that was in Lebanon, saying, Give thy daughter to my son to wife. And the wild beasts of the forest that were in Lebanon came upon it, and trod down the thistle. And thou shalt smite Edom, and shalt be ashamed in thine heart. Lift up thy head, and dwell at home. Wherefore should thine iniquity exalt thee? And thou shalt fall, and Judah with thee." But Amaziah would not go. So Joash king of Israel went up, and he and Amaziah king of Judah faced each other in the face at Beth Shemesh in Horish. And Judah prevailed before Israel, and they became a mighty people in their own right. And Amaziah king of Judah, the son of Awatzi, the son of Ahaz, captured Joash king of Israel at Beth Shemesh, and came to Jerusalem, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem, even to the gate, 400 cubits from the edge. And he took away the gold, and the silver, and all the vessels that he found in the house of the Lord, and in the house of the king's treasure, and in the children of the strangers, and returned to Samaria. And the rest of the acts of Joash, and what he did with his might, and the conspiracy that he made against Amaziah king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? And he slept with his fathers, and was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel, and Jeroboam his son reigned in his stead. And Amaziah the son of Jehoash king of Judah reigned after the death of Jehoash the son of Jehoahaz king of Israel 15 years. And the rest of the acts of Amaziah, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And they gathered together against him bands from Jerusalem, and he went to Lachish. And they pursued him unto Lachish, and slew him there. And they set him upon his own ass, and carried him up, and buried him in Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. And all the men of Judah took Azariah his son, who was 16 years old, and made him king over them in the room of his father Amaziah. He built Elath and Qualathago in Judah after his death with his fathers. In the 11th year of Amaziah king of Judah, Jeroboam the son of Joash king of Israel began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and reigned 21 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from all the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. He conquered the territory of the descendants of Israel from Hamath to the Sea of Arabia, according to the word of the Lord, the God of Israel, which he spoke by the hand of his servant Jonah the prophet, the son of Amaziah the Gittite. For the Lord saw the affliction of Israel, how great was their affliction, how afflicted and afflicted they were, how afflicted and afflicted, and how there was no one to help Israel. And the Lord would not destroy the seed of Israel under heaven, but the Lord delivered them out of the hand of Jeroboam the son of Josiah. And the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, and all that he did, and all his might, wherewith he warred, and how he took Damascus, and delivered it out of the hand of Israel, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel. And Jeroboam slept with his fathers, even with the kings of Israel, and Azariah the son of Amaziah reigned in his father's stead. In the 27th year of Jeroboam king of Israel, Azariah the son of Amaziah king of Judah began to reign. He was 16 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 2 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jechel of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father had done. But the high places were not removed, and the people continued to worship and burn incense on the high places. And the hand of the Lord was upon the king, and he was a leper unto the day of his death. And he dwelt in a house shut up in the palace. And Jotham the king's son was over the house, judging the people of the land. And the rest of the acts of Azariah, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And Azariah slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the land of David, and Jotham his son reigned in his stead. In the 33rd year of Azariah king of Judah, Zechariah the son of Jeroboam reigned over Israel in Samaria. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, as his fathers had done. He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. And Shelem and Kadibah, the sons of Jabesh, conspired against him, and struck him down before his people, and slew him, and Shelem reigned in his stead. And the rest of the words of Zechariah, behold, they are written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Israel. This is the word of the Lord which he spake unto Judah, saying, Thy seed shall sit the fourth upon the throne of Israel. And it came to pass that it was so. And Shelem the son of Joab reigned in Samaria in the 1st month, in the 39th year of Azariah king of Judah. And Menael the son of Gadiash went up from Tirzah, and came to Samaria, and gave it to Shelem the son of Jabesh, and slew him, and reigned in his stead. And the rest of the acts of Shelem, and his assemblies, which he had, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel. At that time Menael took the city of Teresh, and all that was therein, and all the borders of Teresh, because they had not delivered him up, and he destroyed it, and destroyed the cities thereof. In the 39th year of Azariah king of Judah, Menael the son of Gadasi began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and reigned 10 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not at that time from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. And Pua king of Assyria came up against him, and Menael gave him 1,000 talents of gold, that he might be a servant, and they confirmed the kingdom in his hand. And Menael took a tribute of all Israel, and of all the princes thereof, whose power was in them, to give unto the king of Assyria, every man according to his own weight. And the king of Assyria departed, and came not into his land. And the rest of the acts of Manasseh, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Menael slept with his fathers, and Pekah his son reigned in his stead. In the 30th year of Azariah king of Judah, Pekah began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and reigned 10 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. And he took Pekah the son of Remem, his own son, and set him before the Lord in Samaria, in the house of the king, and with him were Argob and Era, and with him 400 men of Ergash, and he slew him, and reigned in his stead. And the rest of the acts of Pekah, and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel. In the year that Azariah the second king of Judah began to reign, Pekah the son of Remaliah reigned over Israel in Samaria 20 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not in that time from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. And in the days of Pekah king of Israel came Tiglath-Pileser king of Assyria, and took Ain, and Kabul, and Beth-Maachah, and Anuch, and Kenas, and Shur, and Gilead, and Galilee, all the land of Naphtali, and carried it into Assyria. And the band of Hoshi, the son of Elias, went up against Pekah, the son of Remaliah, and slew him, and reigned in his stead in the 8th year of Jotham, the son of Uzziah. And the rest of the acts of Pekah, and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Israel. In the 2nd year of Pekah the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, Jotham the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, began to reign. The son was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jerusa, the daughter of Sadducees. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father Uzziah had done. Moreover, he did not remove the high places, and the people did not worship them and burned incense on the high places. He built the gates of the house of his Lord, the high places. And the rest of the acts of Jotham, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? In their days the Lord sent against Judah Rezin, king of Assyria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah. And Jotham slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, and Ahaz his son reigned in his stead. In the 17th year of Pekah the son of Remaliah, Ahaz the son of Jotham became king. Ahaz was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem, and did not that which was right in the sight of the Lord his God, like David his father. And he walked in the ways of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, king of Israel, who even burnt his sons in the fire, according to the abominations of his fathers, whom the Lord had cast out from before the children of Israel. And it was strong, and it burned up the high places of the mountains, and the groves of all the trees of the forest. At that time Rehoboam king of Assyria and Pekah son of Remaliah king of Israel came up to Jerusalem to fight against it, and they besieged Ahaz, but they could not take him. At that time Rezin king of Assyria captured Elath and deported Uriah to Elath. And the Edomites came and lived in Elath to this day. And Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Palestinian king of Assyria, saying, I am thy servant, and thy son, come out and deliver me out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and out of the hand of the king of Israel, for they rise up against me. And he took the gold and silver that he found of the precious things in the house of the Lord, and in the house of his kingdom, and gave them to the king of Assyria for food. And the king of Assyria heard of it, and the king of Assyria went up against Damascus, and took it, and besieged it, and destroyed Cyrene and Rezin. And King Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser king of Assyria. And Ahaz saw an altar that was at Damascus. And King Ahaz sent to Uriah the priest, and he measured it, and showed him the pattern of it, and the workmanship thereof. And Uriah the priest made an altar according to the pattern thereof, according to all that King Ahaz had commanded to be made. So Uriah the priest made it, until King Ahaz came to Damascus. He saw the altar, and the king stood upon it, and offered his offerings, and his sacrifices, and his peace offerings. And the blood of the peacemakers has been shed. And the altar of brass, which was before the Lord, he brought out of the house of the Lord into his own place, and set it by the altar of brass. And King Ahaz commanded Uriah the priest, saying, Upon the great altar shalt thou offer the morning sacrifice, and the evening sacrifice, and the king's sacrifice, and his sacrifices, and the sacrifice of the people of the land, and their beasts, and their sacrifices, and all the blood of their beasts, and of all their beasts, shalt thou pour upon it. And the brassen altar shall be for me for a burnt offering. And Uriah the priest did according to all his commandments, as King Ahaz had commanded him. King Ahaz cut off the pillars that were on them, and removed the bases from them, and removed the 12 bronze bowls that were on the bases, and put them on the stones of the altar. And the foundation of his throne was laid in the house of the Lord. The king went in and out of the house of the Lord in peace from the presence of the king of Assyria. And the rest of the acts of Ahaz, which he did, behold, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And Ahaz slept with his fathers in the city of David, and Hezekiah his son reigned in his stead. In the 12th year of Ahaziah king of Judah, Josiah the son of Elias began to reign over Israel in Samaria, and reigned 9 years. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel who were before him. Then Shalmaneser king of Assyria came against him, and he became his servant, and he nursed him with manna. And the king of Assyria found counsel with Hoshea, and sent messengers unto the king of Egypt. And he gave him no manna that year. And the king of Assyria took him, and put him in the house of the prison. And the king of Assyria went out throughout all that land, and came to Samaria, and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, king of Assyria, he captured Samaria and exiled Israel to Assyria. He built fortresses along the Jabalotha and Jaber rivers, along the Gabazon and the Medes. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, because the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, who had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and they feared their strange gods. And they walked in the likeness of their brethren, whom the Lord destroyed from before the children of Israel, and from before the kings of Israel, according to all that they did. And how much more did the children of Israel transgress the commandment of the Lord their God, and built themselves high places in all their cities, from the top of the hill to the top of their cities. And they set up pillars and sacred poles on every high hill and on every green tree. And they burned incense to all their high places, as all their brethren did, whom the Lord cast out before them. And they were disobedient, and provoked to anger the Lord. And they served idols, of which the Lord had said to them, "You shall not speak this word to the Lord." And the Lord testified against the children of Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and all the seers, saying, "Turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments, and my statutes, and all the law, which I commanded your fathers, which I sent unto you by my servants the prophets." And they did not listen to them, but turned their backs on their ancestors, and did not believe in the Lord their God. And they forsook his covenant and his statutes which he had made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he had commanded them, and they did not keep them, but they walked in the way of their fathers, and were as a people unto them. And they forsook all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made two gods after their own image, and worshipped the host of heaven, and served Baal. And they sacrificed their sons and their daughters to the fire, and to the divination, and to the sorcery, and to the divination, and to the divination, and to the blasphemy, and to the blasphemy of the Lord. And the Lord was very angry with Israel, and removed them from his presence. There was none left, save his own brethren, even Judah. And Judah also did not keep the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the way of Israel, which they had made. And all the seed of Israel departed from the Lord, and he moved them, and delivered them into the hand of their deceivers, until he had removed them from his presence. And Israel tore away from the house of David, and Jeroboam the son of Nebat became king. And Jeroboam drove Israel away from following the Lord, and made them sin a great sin. And they walked in all the sins of Jeroboam which he did, as the children of Israel did, they departed not from them. And the Lord removed Israel from his presence, as the Lord had spoken by all his servants the prophets, and he removed Israel out of his land to Assyria, unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought them from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Jahath, and from Seraph, and from Hamath, and placed them in the cities of Samaria, before the children of Israel. And they dwelt in Samaria, and possessed the cities thereof. And it came to pass at the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not the Lord, and the Lord sent 2 lions to kill them. And they spoke to the king of Assyria, saying, "The people that they have taken away, and have carried away captives to the cities of Samaria, know not the manner of the God of their land. The Lord will send lions among them, and, behold, they shall devour them, because they know not the manner of the God of their land." And the king of Assyria commanded, saying, "Bring one of the priests of those who are exiled, that he may come and dwell there, and show them the ordinances of the Lord, and enlighten them with the justice of the God of his land." And they brought one of the priests who had fled to Samaria, and he lived in Bethel and taught them, that they might fear the Lord. And they made gods for themselves, like their own kindred, and put them in the high places which the Samaritans had made for themselves, like their kindred, in the cities where they dwelt. And the men of Babylon made Soko, and Banu, and Archo, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Asenath. And the Jahazites begot Abelezer, and Nebo, and Tartak, and Sepharuim, and they burnt their sons in the fire unto Adramelech, and unto Amalek, the gods of Sepharuim. And he feared the Lord, and his abominations dwelt in the houses of the high places which they had made in Samaria, both for themselves and for their brethren, which dwelt therein. And he feared the Lord, and they set up their own priests of the high places. And he feared the Lord, and served their own gods, after the manner of his brethren, whom God had destroyed before him. And to this day they do according to their statutes, and according to the fear of the Lord, and according to their manner, and according to the judgments, and according to the statutes, and according to the commandments, which the Lord commanded his children Jacob, whom he named Israel. And the Lord made a covenant with them, and charged them, saying, Ye shall not fear other gods, neither bow yourselves unto them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them. But the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt with great power and an outstretched arm, him you shall fear, him you shall worship, and to him you shall sacrifice. And the statutes, and the judgments, and the ordinances, and the commandments, which I have commanded you, ye shall keep, and fear not other gods. And the covenant which he made with you, ye shall not break, nor fear other gods. But fear the Lord your God, and he will deliver you from all your enemies. And do not obey their appearance, which they show. And their relatives feared the Lord. And they and their children and their children's children serve their fathers, as their fathers did, even unto this day. And it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hosea the son of Eli, king of Israel, that Hezekiah the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Abuth, the daughter of Zechariah. And he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father David had done. He removed the high places and broke them down, and all the sacred pillars, and cut down the groves and the bronze serpent that Moses had made. And there the children of Israel worshipped it for many days. And they called its name Jeshua. He was so great in the sight of the Lord God of Israel that after him there was none like him among all the kings of Judah who were before him. He clung to the Lord and did not depart from his ways, but kept his commandments, which he commanded Moses. And the Lord was with him in all that he did, and he prospered, and he defied the king of Assyria and did not serve him. And he brought down the strangers even unto Gaza, and unto the borders thereof, to destroy them from their strength, even unto the strong cities thereof. And it came to pass in the 4th year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hosea the son of Elah king of Israel, that Shalmaneser king of Assyria came up against Samaria and besieged it. And it was taken in the 3rd year, which was the 6th year of Hezekiah, which was the 9th year of Joseph king of Israel, that Samaria was taken. And the king of Assyria carried away Samaria into Assyria, and built them in Jolith, and in Abath, and by the rivers of Gozan, and in the mountains of Martha. Because they did not obey the voice of the Lord their God, to transgress his covenant, according to all that Moses the servant of the Lord commanded them, they did not listen nor did they do. And in the 14th year of the reign of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib king of Assyria came up against the cities of Judah, and took them. And Hezekiah king of Judah sent messengers to the king of Assyria at Lachish, saying, I have sinned, turn from me, and I will break the yoke that is upon me. And the king of Assyria laid upon Hezekiah king of Judah 300 talents of brass and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave all the treasures that he found in the house of the Lord, out of the treasures of the king's house. At that time King Hezekiah cut off the doors of the temple of his Lord and the pillars, which King Hezekiah of Judah had overlaid with gold, and gave it to the king of Assyria. And the king of Assyria sent against Jerusalem the army of Turah, and the army of Rapha, and the army of Lachish, and King Hezekiah, with mighty men of valor. And they went out, and came to Jerusalem, and stood in the tower of the great wall, which is in the way of the field of the house of the Lord. And they sent word to Hezekiah, and Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, the palace administrator, and Shemna the scribe, and Joahaz the son of Asaph, the recorder, came to him. And Rabshakeh said unto them, Say ye now to Hezekiah, Thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria, What confidence is this that thou trustest in? If you say, The words of the mouth and the intention and power are useful for the work. Now whom do you accuse and insult me? Behold, you are like the reed and the staff of Egypt, on which if a man leans, it will shake its hand and cause it to break. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and all his servants. And because I have sworn, saying, We are the servants of the Lord our God, is not this Hezekiah, whose high places and altars he has taken away, and hath said to Judah and Jerusalem, Ye shall worship before this altar, and Jerusalem? And now I have joined my lord the king Azarastan, and I have given you 2,000 donkeys. Can you find a man to ride them? And how can you go before the servants of my lord, one against another? And what do you do to Egypt, and to its chariots, and to its donkeys? And now, O Lord, are we finished with this place to shake it? The Lord said to me, Go up to the earth and shake it. And Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, and Shemna, and Joah said unto Rabshakeh, Speak thou to thy servants with the words of the Assyrians, and speak not with the words of Uriah in the ears of the people that stand on the wall. And Rabshakeh said unto them, Is it for your Lord, or for you, that I have sent me to speak these words? But for the men that sit on the wall, that they may eat their own flesh, and drink their own dung? Then the Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice, like the voice of Uriah, and spake, and said, Hear ye the word of the great king, the king of Assyria. And the king said to Esdras, Do not let Hezekiah deceive you, for he will not be able to deliver you out of my hand. Hezekiah will comfort you by the Lord and tell you, The Lord has delivered us, and has not given the city into the hand of the king of Assyria. Do not listen to Hezekiah, for thus says the king of Assyria, You have made a covenant with me, and come out to me, and eat of your own vines and fig trees, and drink water of your own cisterns, until I come and take you away to a land like yours, a land of flour and wine and vineyards and bread, a land of oil and honey, and you live and not die. Do not listen to Hezekiah, for he deceives you and says to you, The Lord has remembered us. Did the gods' relatives voluntarily take their villages from the hands of their king, the Assyrians? Where are the gods of Amethash and Arphith? And where are the gods of Ephraim, the city of Anna and Eve? Have they not delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who are they among all the gods of the earth that have delivered their land out of my hand? Shall not the Lord deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? And they held their peace and answered him not a word, for the king had commanded, saying, Answer him not a word. Then Eliakim the son of Hilkiah, the scribe, Shemna the scribe, and Jehoahaz the son of Asaph, the recorder, came into Hezekiah, covered with sackcloth, and told him the words of the Rabshakeh. And it came to pass, when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes, and covered himself with sackcloth, and went into the house of the Lord. And Eliakim the governor of the palace, and Shemna the scribe, and the elders of the priests, clothed in sackcloth, sent to the prophet Isaiah the son of Amoz. And he said to him, Thus says Hezekiah, This day is a day of trouble and distress, for the wombs of the pregnant women are stricken and cannot bear children. And if your God will hear the words of the Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, has sent to reproach the living God, and to plead with the Lord your God for the remnant that are left. And the servant of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah. And Isaiah said to them, Thus you shall say to the Lord, Thus says the Lord, Do not be afraid of the words that you have heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have taunted me. Behold, I will send a wicked spirit upon him, and he shall hearken unto his voice, and shall return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. And Rabshakeh turned and found the king of Assyria fighting against Labnah, and he heard that he had attacked Lachish. And when he heard of Tartak king of Ethiopia, and said unto him, Behold, the battle is finished against thee. And he went his own country, and sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, Thus shall you say to Hezekiah king of Judah, Do not let your God whom you serve deceive you, for he has not given Jerusalem into the hand of the king of Assyria. Look, you yourself have heard everything that those kings of Azarastan said to all those villages, how they deceived them, and now you think you are being disrespectful? They were not remembered by the gods of their kindred, which they destroyed before our fathers, Gozan and Haran and Rephath and the children of Edom, even unto the coasts of the sea. Where is the king of Hamath and the king of Arphith, and the king of the city of Sepharvaim, which he fought against? And Hezekiah the king received it from the hand of the messengers, and read it, and went up into the house of the Lord, and Hezekiah spread it before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed before the Lord, and said, O Lord God of Israel, which dwellest between the cherubim, thou art God, even thou alone of all the kings of the earth. Thou hast made heaven and earth. Incline, O Lord, thine ear, and hear. Open, O Lord, thine eyes, that they may see and hear the words of Sennacherib, which he hath sent to the children of the living God. For truly, O Lord, you destroyed the kinsmen of those kings of Assyria and their land. And they gave their gods into the fire, because they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone, and destroyed them. And now, O Lord our God, deliver us out of his hand, that all the kings of the earth may know that you, O Lord God, are alone. And Isaiah the son of Amoz sent, saying, Thus saith the Lord God of hosts, the God of Israel, I have heard the prayer that thou hast made unto me concerning Sennacherib king of Assyria. This is the word that the Lord spoke to him. You have been despised and despised, O virgin daughter of Zion. The daughter of Jerusalem has rejoiced over you. Whom have you reproached and blasphemed? Or against whom have you lifted up your voice in taunts? And have your eyes been lifted up against the Holy One of Israel? Through your messengers you have entreated the Lord and said, With the multitude of my chariots I have ascended the height of the mountains of Lebanon, and I have taken the height of the fruitful field, the choice of the fir trees. And I have come to the end of the valley of Carmel. I will protect and drink strange waters, and I will destroy and crush with my claws all the gatherings of water. But they heard from afar that which I have from the days of old, that I formed it and fulfilled it, and that it became a sign for the warriors of the strong cities. And they that dwell therein shall be feeble in hand, and shall be afraid and ashamed, and they shall be as the grass of the field, and as the stubble of the field, and as the chaff of the field, and as a heap of straw, to be threshed before them that come before it. Now you're sitting and going out and coming in, your ignorance and your anger. Who are you who are angry with me, and your boasting has reached my ears? Now I will take away the hook from your nose and the bridle from your jaws, and I will turn you back from the way that you were before. And this shall be a sign unto thee, eat this year of thy harvest, and the second year of that which springeth up, and in the third year sow and reap, and plant vineyards, and eat the fruit of them. And it shall be in the house of Judas, and in all that is cut off, that the roots of the tree shall be rooted and shall bear fruit. For Jerusalem is a desolation, and Mount Zion is a desolation, because the sword of the Lord, the mighty one, has destroyed it. Therefore thus saith the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, He shall not enter into the city, nor shoot arrows at it, nor besiege it with shields, nor turn the ground against it. He shall return by the way by which he came, and shall not enter that city, said the Lord. And I will make him ruler over the city, that he may save me and my servant David. And it came to pass that night that an angel of the Lord went out and smote of the camp of the Syrians 124,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were very dead bodies. And Sennacherib, king of Assyria, arose and departed and reigned over Nineveh. And it came to pass, while he was worshipping in the house of Nershak his god, that Adrimelech and Sharezer his sons smote him with the sword. And he went away into the land of Ararat, and Ashur his son reigned in his stead. In those days Hezekiah was sick to the point of death. And the prophet Isaiah the son of Amoz came to him and said to him, Thus says the Lord, Set your house in order, for you are about to die, and not to be buried. And he turned his face to the wall, and prayed unto the Lord, and said, Remember, O Lord, how I have walked before you in truth and with a perfect heart, and have walked before you in righteousness. And Hezekiah wept bitterly. And Isaiah was in the great court, and the word of the Lord came to him, saying, Go and tell Hezekiah the leader of my people, Thus says the Lord God to David your father, I have heard your prayer, I have seen your tears. Behold, I will heal you, and on the third day you shall go up to the house of the Lord. And I will add 15 years to your days, and deliver you and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and I will make you governor of this city for my own sake, and for the sake of David my servant. And Isaiah said, Take oil and figs, and make a paste of them, and apply it to the boil, and he shall recover. And Hezekiah said to Isaiah, What sign will there be that the Lord will heal me, and that I may go up to the house of the Lord on the third day? And Isaiah said, This is a sign from the Lord, for the Lord has spoken this word, saying, Let the shadow go back 10 days. And Hezekiah said, It is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 steps, but it shall not go backward 10 steps. And Isaiah the prophet cried out to the Lord, and the shadow went back 10 days, and it ended with 10 days. At that time Merodach-Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent messengers to Hezekiah, for he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick. And Hezekiah was glad when he came to them, and showed them all the house of Neketh, the gold, the incense, the spices, and the houses of vessels, and all that was found in his house. And there was nothing in his house that Hezekiah did not show them of all his dominion. And Isaiah the prophet came to the king, and said unto him, What say these men unto thee? And who shall come unto thee? And Hezekiah said, From a far country they shall come unto me, even to Babylon. And he said, What have they seen in thine house? And Hezekiah said, All that is in mine house have they seen, and there is nothing that I have not shewed them, and also my treasures. And Isaiah said to Hezekiah, Hear the word of the Lord. Behold, the days come, that all that is in thine house, and that which thy fathers have laid up in store unto this day, shall be carried to Babylon, and shall not be left. For this is the word which the Lord hath spoken. And some of your descendants will be taken away and put in the eunuch's house of the king of Babylon. And Hezekiah said to Isaiah, Good is the word that the Lord has spoken. Peace and truth will be in our days. And the rest of the acts of Hezekiah, and all his might, and the dams which he made, and the waters which he brought into the city, behold, they are written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah. And Hezekiah slept with his fathers, and Manasseh his son reigned in his stead. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 19 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Ephisbah. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to the abominations of his brethren, whom the Lord destroyed from before the children of Israel. And he built up the high place that Hezekiah his father had made, and he reared up the high places of the Baals, and made him an grove, as Ahab king of Israel had made, and he worshipped all the host of heaven, and served them. And he built an altar in the house of the Lord, as the Lord had said, I have set my throne in Jerusalem. And he made servants of all the host of heaven for all the courts of the house of his Lord. And he made his children pass through the fire, and dreamed, and inquired, and cast snares, and multiplied divination, and made them to be precious in the sight of the Lord, and to provoke him to anger. And he set up the graven images of the gods in the house of the Lord, of which the Lord had said to David and to Solomon his son, saying, In this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. And I will not cause the feet of Israel to be moved out of the land which I gave to their fathers, that they might fear me, to do all that I have commanded them, according to all the commandments which Moses my servant commanded them. But they did not listen, and Manasseh became very wicked, and led them astray to do evil in the sight of the Lord, more than all their relatives, whom the Lord had driven out before the face of the children of Israel. And the Lord spoke by his servants the prophets, saying, Because Manasseh king of Judah did these things, and did more abominations than the Amorites before me, and made Judah sin with his idols. Therefore thus says the Lord God of Israel, Behold, I will send such a great thing upon Jerusalem and Judah that both ears of everyone who hears of it will tingle. And I will weigh upon Jerusalem like the measure of Samaria, and like the balance of the house of Ahab, and I will wipe out Jerusalem like a dish that is broken upon its mouth. And I will destroy the remnant of my inheritance, and deliver them into the hand of their enemies, and they shall be a prey, and I will be a prey to all their enemies. Because they have done evil in my sight, and have provoked me to anger, from the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt unto this day. And the blood was shed very much, until Jerusalem was filled from one end to the other. And his sin, by which he caused Judah to do evil in the sight of the Lord. Now the rest of the acts of Manasseh, and all that he did, and his sin which he sinned, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And Manasseh slept with his fathers, and was buried in the house of his fathers, in the house of Uzziah, and Amon his son reigned in his stead. Amon was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 13 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Meshelemiah, the daughter of Arawasa, Tabitha. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, as his father Manasseh had done. And he walked in all the ways that his father had walked, and served the idols that his father had served, and worshipped them. He forsook the Lord God of his fathers, and they walked not in the way of the Lord. And the servants of Ammon rose up against him, and slew the king in his own house. And he destroyed the Ammonites, and made Josiah his son king in his stead. And the rest of the acts of Ammon, which he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And Ammon slept with his fathers, and was buried in his own sepulchre in the city of Uzziah, and Josiah his son reigned in his stead. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jediah, the daughter of Jediah of Bashroth. And Josiah did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in all the ways of David his father, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. And it came to pass in the 11th year of the reign of Josiah king of Judah, in the 7th month, that the king sent Shaphan the son of Exile, the son of Meshullam, the scribe of the house of his Lord, saying, I will go up to the house of the high priest, and melt the fat that was offered in the house of the Lord, which was collected from the people of the gatekeepers. And they gave it into the hands of those who did the work of the overseers of the house of the Lord. And they gave it to those who did the work of the house of the Lord, to strengthen the walls of the house of the Lord, to bring timber and quarried stone to the carpenters, builders, and craftsmen to reinforce the floors of the house of the Lord. And they did not despise the one who gave them, because they were made by faith. And Hilkiah the high priest said to Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and he read it. And he went to King Josiah and told him these words, saying, Your servants have taken out the silver that was found in the house of the Lord, and have given it into the hands of the doers of the work, who have the oversight of the house of the Lord. And Satan the scribe told the king about the book, and said, Selsiah the priest gave me the book, and he read it before the king. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, that he rent his garments. And the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam the son of Shaphan, and Achbor the son of Micaiah, and Shaphan the scribe, and Asaiah the king's servant, saying, Come, let us seek the word of the Lord concerning me and my people and all Judah concerning this book which has been found. For great is the wrath of the Lord that is poured out upon us, because our fathers have not obeyed the words of this book, to do according to all that is written in it. And Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam, and Shaphan, and Achbor, and Asaiah went to the prophetess Odin, the wife of Shallum, the son of Tekoa, the son of Azariah, keeper of the wardrobe, who lived in Jerusalem and in Messina, and they told her these things. And he said to them, Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, tell the man who sent you to me. Thus says the Lord, Behold, I will bring evil upon this city and upon its inhabitants, all the words of the book which the king of Judah has read, because they have forsaken me and served other gods, to provoke me to anger with the works of their hands, and to provoke me to anger against this place, and not to destroy it. And to the king of Judah, who sent you to inquire of the Lord, thus shall you say to him, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, the words which you have heard, they are. Therefore, because your heart was tender and you were humbled before the Lord, as you have heard these words, how I will speak against this place and against its inhabitants, to make it a desolation and a curse. And you shall tear your clothes and weep before me, and I will hear you, says the Lord. Therefore, no, indeed, I will gather you to your fathers, and you shall go to your grave in peace, and your eyes shall not see all this evil which I will bring upon this city and upon its inhabitants. And they told this matter to the king, and the king sent and gathered together all the elders of Judah and Jerusalem. And the king went up to the temple of the Lord, and all the men of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, and the priests and the prophets, and all the people with him, both small and great. And he read in the book of the law in the ears of the people, even all the words, in the house of the Lord. And the king rose up over Susa, and laid before them a copy of the law, according to the book of the law that was found in the house of the Lord, before the Lord, that they might walk in the way of the Lord, and keep his commandments and his statutes, and his judgments with all their heart and with all their soul, to do the words of the law that were written in the book of the law. And all the people stood by the law. And the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest, and the priests of the second degree, and the officers of the assembly, to bring out of the temple of the Lord all the vessels that were made for Baal, and for the idols, and for all the host of heaven. And they took them, and burned them without Jerusalem, in Sodom and in Kidron, and made their land Bethel. And they put away the priests whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places, and in the cities of Judah, and in the places round about Jerusalem, and they burned incense unto Baal, and unto the sun, and to the moon, and to the stars, and to all the host of heaven. And they brought out the garments from the house of the Asherah, which was outside Jerusalem, to the brook Kidron, and burned them there, and ground them to powder, and cast them into the graves of the children of the Gentiles. And he broke down the house of the Kadeshites, which was in the house of the Lord, where the women wove linen garments. And he brought all the priests out of the cities of Judah, and destroyed all the high places where the priests had burned incense, from Geba even to Beersheba, and brake down the house of the high places, even before the door of the gate of Joseph the prince of his city, which was on the left hand as one entereth into the gate of the city. But the priests of the high places shall not come up to the altar of the Lord in Jerusalem until they have eaten unleavened bread among their brethren. And he cursed the valley of the sons of Enon, that no man should give his son or his daughter to pass through the fire to Melakhim. And he cut off the horses that were given to the kings of Judah, to the sun, at the entrance of the house of the Lord, to the guard of the king's eunuchs, which were in the palace, and burned the chariot of the sun with fire. And the high places that were on the high places of the groves, which the kings of Judah had made, and the high places that Manasseh had made in the courts of the house of the Lord, the king brake down, and took them by the hand, and brake them in pieces, and stamped them, and cast the dust of them into the brook Kidron. And the house that was before Jerusalem, on the south side of the Mount of Moazoth, which Solomon the king of Jerusalem had built for Ashtoreth the abomination of the Sidonians, and for Chemosh the abomination of the Moabites, and for Milcom the abomination of the children of Ammon, and the king abominated it. And he tore off their garments, and filled their places with the bones of men. And the high altar that was at Bethel, which Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel sin, had made, he brake down that high altar, and brake down the pillars thereof, and stamped them as dust, and made them like a heap of ashes. And he looked, and saw the sepulchres that were in the mount, and he sent, and took the bones out of the sepulchres, and burned them upon the altar, and defiled it, according to the word of the Lord, which the man of God spake. And Jeroboam stood by the altar in the feast, and Josiah turned, and lifted up his eyes, and saw the sepulchre of the man of God, which spake these words. And he said, What is this pillar that I see? And the men of his city said unto him, It is the sepulchre of the man of God, which went throughout the land of Judah, and prophesied all these words that are at the altar of Bethel. And he said, Let it alone, that no man move his bones. And his bones were found with the bones of the prophet that came out of Samaria. And all the houses of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Lord to anger, Josiah king of Israel brake down, and did to them according to all that he had done to Bethel. And he slew all the priests of the high places that were there upon their altars, and laid the bones of the men upon them, and returned to Jerusalem. And the king commanded all the people, saying, Keep ye the Passover unto the Lord our God, as it is written in the book of the law. And there was no such thing from the days of the judges who judged Israel, nor in all the days of the kings of Israel, nor of the kings of Judah. But in the 111th year of the reign of Josiah, the Lord began to bless Jerusalem. And the mediums and the soothsayers and the teraphim and all the idols and all the abominations that were in the land of Judah and Jerusalem did King Josiah take, that they might confirm the words of the writing of the book of the law, which the priest Kelchias had found in the house of the Lord. There was no king like him before him, who did what the Lord commanded with all his heart, with all his soul, and with all his might, according to all the law of Moses, and after him there arose no one like him. But the Lord did not turn from the fierce anger of his great wrath, with which he was angry against Judah, because of all the anger with which Manasseh had provoked him. And the Lord said, I will remove Judah also out of my sight, as I have removed Israel, and I will cast off this city Jerusalem which I have chosen, and this house of which I said, My name shall be there. And the rest of the acts of Josiah, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And in those days Pharaoh Necho king of Egypt came up against his king of Assyria, which is by the river Euphrates. And King Josiah went out to meet him, and Pharaoh slew him at Megiddo when he was come to meet him. And they brought him from Megiddo to Jerusalem by his servants, and buried him in his own sepulchre. And the people of his land brought Jehoahaz his son out of the land, and anointed him, and made him king in the room of his father Josiah. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Amital, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnath. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his fathers had done. And Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, deposed him, and carried him away to Debalath in the land of Hamath, that he might not reign in Jerusalem. And he imposed a tribute upon that land of 100 talents of brass, and 10 talents of gold. And Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim the son of Josiah king of Judah king over them, in the room of Josiah his father, and changed his name to Jehoiakim. And Jehoahaz he took, and carried him into Egypt, and he died there. And Jehoiakim gave the gold and silver to Pharaoh. And the land was made a slave to give the silver to Pharaoh. Every man according to his ability gave the silver and gold of the people of his land to give it to Pharaoh Necho. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Eldith, the daughter of Rumah, a Eglonite. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his fathers had done. And in his days Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came up into the land, and Jehoiakim was his servant 3 years, and he turned and treated him with contempt. And the Lord sent against him bands of the Chaldeans, and bands of the Assyrians, and of the Moabites, and of the children of Ammon, and set them against Judah to destroy it, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servants the prophets. For the anger of the Lord was against Judah, to remove them from his presence, because of all the sins of Manasseh which he had committed. For they have shed the blood of the innocent, and have filled Jerusalem with the blood of the innocent, and the Lord will not be pleased to have them. And the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim, and all that he did, whether it be or not, are they not written in the book of the chronicles of the kings of Judah? And Jehoiakim slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of Uzziah with his fathers. And Jehoiakim his son reigned in his stead. And the king of Egypt no longer allowed anyone to go out of his land, for the king of Babylon had taken all the land that belonged to the king of Egypt, from the Wadi of Egypt to the Euphrates River. Jehoiakim was 13 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Anissa, the daughter of Elamites of Jerusalem. And Jehoiakim did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his fathers had done. At that time Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem and besieged the city. And the king of Babylon came to the city, and Nebuchadnezzar's servants surrounded him. And Jehoiakim king of Judah went out to the king of Babylon, he and his mother, and his princes, and his servants, and his eunuchs, and the king of Babylon carried him away in the 8th year of his reign. And he brought out all the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the royal house, and cut in pieces all the vessels of gold that Solomon king of Israel had made for the temple of the Lord, as the Lord had said. And he carried away all Jerusalem, and all the princes, and all the mighty men of valor, 10,000, and all the carpenters and goldsmiths, and there was none left, save the poorest sort of the people of the land. And the king of Babylon carried away Jehoiakim to Babylon, and the king's mother, and his wives, and his eunuchs, and the mighty men of the land, he carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. And all the mighty men of valor, that were fit for war, 7,000, and the carpenters and smiths that wrought gold and anthracite, 1,000 men, and all the mighty men of valor, and fit for war, the king of Babylon carried away captive to Babylon. The king of Babylon made his uncle Methuselah king in his place, and gave him the name Zedekiah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Amital, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnath. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that Jehoiakim had done. For the anger of the Lord was upon Jerusalem and Judah, until he had cast them out from his presence, and had made Zedekiah king of Babylon to rebel. And it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, which is the 4th, the 10th, that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came, and all his people, against Jerusalem, and besieged it, and built a siege wall against it. And the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. In the 9th month the famine was severe in the city, and there was no bread for the people in the land. And the city passed through, and the king and all the men of war passed by night by the way of the gate of the ascent between the 2 walls, which is by the king's palace. And the Chaldeans compassed the city about, and went out by the way of Arabia toward the east. And the Chaldean army pursued the king, and overtook him by the way of Jericho, and all his people were scattered from him. And they took the king alone, and brought him to the king of Babylon, and the king pronounced judgment upon him. And he slew the sons of Zedekiah before him, and cut off the arms of Zedekiah, and bound him with fetters, and carried him to Babylon. And it came to pass in the 5th year, in the 7th year thereof, which was the 19th year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, that Nebuzaradan the captain of the guard, which stood before the king of Babylon, came unto Jerusalem. And he burned the temple of the Lord, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem with fire. And all the people that were with the chief of the carpenters broke down the walls of Jerusalem. And the remnant of the people that were left in the city, and those that fell away to the king of Babylon, and the rest of the people, Nebuzaradan carried away captive. And Nebuzaradan the captain of the guard left of the poor of the people to be vine-dressers and farmers. And the bases of brass that were in the house of the Lord, and their bases, and the brasen sea that was in the house of the Lord, they broke in pieces by the Chaldeans, and carried the brass to Babylon. And the pots, and the shovels, and the bowls, and all the vessels of brass wherewith they ministered, they took away. And the chief cook made the censers and the bowls of gold. And the 2 stands, and the stands, and the stands, which Solomon made for the house of the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken away, there was no number of the scales of brass, and of all the vessels. The height of one of the capitals was 13 cubits, and the capitals of the 2 capitals were 3 cubits high, and the capital itself was a capital of brass, and the capitals of the capitals were round about every brass. And the capitals of the 2nd capital were a capital of brass, and the chief cook took Ariah the chief priest, and Zephaniah the 2nd priest, and the 3 keepers of the door. And the eunuch took from the city one of the chief men of the men of war, and 5 men of the king's officers, which were found in the city, and the scribe, the prince of his people, which divided the people of his land, and 7 men of the people of the land, which were found in the city. And he took them from Nebuzaradan, and brought them to Debalth, to the king of Babylon. And the king of Babylon cut them off at Debalth in the land of Hamath, and scattered Judah abroad in their own land. And over the remnant of the people that remained in the land, whom Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon had left, he appointed Gedaliah the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan. And it came to pass, when all the princes of the forces heard that the king of Babylon had appointed Gedaliah to Mizpah, that Gedaliah came to Mizpah, and Ishmael the son of Nathan, and Jonan the son of Zechariah, and Sariah the son of Thana the Mikdaphite, and Jezoniah the son of the Maacathite, they and their men. And they fled to Gedaliah himself and his men. And he said to them, Do not be afraid of the Chaldeans, dwell in the land, and serve the king of Babylon, and it will be well with you. And it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael the son of Nathan, the son of Elishama, of the king's seed, came, and 10 men with him, and they smote Gedaliah, and slew him, and the Hurites, and the Chaldeans that were with him at Mizpah, Masrah. And all the people, both small and great, and the princes of the people, arose and came into Egypt, for they were afraid of the Chaldeans. And it came to pass in the 37th year of the reign of Jehoiakim king of Judah, in the 12th month, in the 27th day of his reign, that Ebel, Marduk king of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, lifted up the head of Jehoiakim king of Judah, and brought him forth out of his house out of prison. And he spoke well of him, and set his throne above the thrones of the kings who were with him in Babylon. And he changed his prison garments, and did eat bread continually before him all the days of his life. And his portion was to be given him from the house of the king, day by day, all the days of his life. The sources are translated by docs.google.com. The spelling in the text may not correspond to the original, so please take this into consideration in advance. Respectfully, St. Sophia Chapel. May God bless you. Thank you for your attention. You have watched a video presented by Holy Sophia Prayer House. Please subscribe to the channel so that it may become more successful and its work may serve good and beneficial purposes even more effectively. May God help and bless you.